Welcome back to the Visitors Locker Room.
Yay!
Thank you.
I'm Nate Craig. That is CJ Sullivan. And special guest, longtime friend of the Visitors Locker Room, Mr. Hannibal Buress. Good to see you, buddy.
What's happening, man?
Man.
Great job there with the cut and pasting. Insert photo background. This is,
Hey, you know what, man? Listen here, man. Y'all had last minute tech requests. You know what I'm saying?
We did.
I'm trying to make it do what it do on my other. I'm trying, and I think it looks great.
That's what's most important. It looks great. And trust me, me and Nate were arguing debating, I should say.
No. Trust us. We were arguing.
And my side was, I don't think we should throw this on Hannibal this late in the game.
And clearly I was right.
Right.
I'm happy with it. And it did take a while. You know, the thing is though, there was this other shoot I did that was a remote shoot this was just, I don't know, this was an easy thing that somehow became hard. But this one was one where I agreed to it, and then I didn't understand, or there was maybe a little miscommunication almost, where we get an email like, yeah, we're dropping off a kit at your place. We're gonna drop off a ring light and an extra phone, and I was like, what? And so I didn't even really register that message. And then the next day, it was a Sunday morning, afternoon, and I kind of had some stuff I did a little bit of mushrooms. I was in a whole different zone because I thought I was just, filming my pantry. And then I'm getting messages like, oh yeah, you need to get on the Zoom. And I'm like, what? And I'm tripping a little bit. And it was like, yeah, you set up this computer, and then you set up, and it was like, I'm doing lights, I'm doing all this. And part of me was really like, walking off set right now is just closing my laptop and then going back about my life. Like, if
It's
I
the
just
easiest dismount ever.
Like, yeah, it's no awkward, like walking past the, the security guard that just found out through the radio that's giving you a mean mug too on behalf of the company.
It says laptop closed.
Laptop closed, and I'm back in my zone.
Your ring light is in my mailbox.
You can pick it up. But I got through it. But it was a point in it because I started like sweating and shit, and I'm trying to get the stuff right. And I'm like, man, this quarantine shit sucks. Now I'm the gaffer. I'm doing electric over here. It was intense, dog. I was like really crumbling and shit.
Starring.
It was the complete different direction I thought my day was going. Like the thing they had. I had a list of shit for my day, but that thing was 7th, and it took a strong 1A after that. It was like, oh, this is your day now.
It jumped up. Mushrooms jumped a little bit, but
up
also
and took the lead. It took a Usain Bolt lead across. Just looking back at the rest of my day,
look at the
high stepping and shit.
9.58. Damn, I can't believe it ran that. Well, I'm glad you didn't shut it down on us and head to the kitchen.
Of course not.
Yeah, no, we didn't want to put you through any of that, but it was fun to watch.
I like a good Zoom background bit,
Absolutely.
Not to burst this, but this, like, get that on a bomber jacket.
Selling beans. Yeah, you don't have to we wanted to keep this structured. This is going to look good for something, and then it's for free for all for background bits. I love background bits. I hate when people try to knock down background bits and saying they're corny. Like, listen, can we have any fun during this fucking
This is what
something?
Yo, you have to.
This is it.
You have to.
I got this and Snapchat filters. That's all I do. I'll break that out later. The baby face.
Yeah. I got to get a picture of Trump walking down the ramp.
That was I like him with the beans. That was kind of funny. People like that boycotting them beans. Like, I like when I find out that there aren't good billionaires out there. Like, what? What? They like Trump, yes, because they don't have to pay taxes. That's how billionaires work.
Yeah, it's it's if you go too much into any product, you're gonna
There's bodies under the beans.
You don't do the paper trail on everything, then you don't have a unhappy life.
Right. They tried to. I remember they tried to do that to LeBron when he wouldn't talk about China, and like he shouldn't talk about China. Like whatever, he's an NBA player, he's not a fucking politician. But like, why don't you speak up now? Because it's affecting your money. Like, what do you think about China? Like, what do I think? I think Space Jam 2's coming out in the fall. You got a lot of movie theaters. So I ain't saying shit. Good for him.
Yeah, China is really great at long-term planning. Their long game is so phenomenal.
They've seen it before.
Draft and develop.
China truly sees the big picture. They like, yo, let's make these railroads in Africa now. I see it paying off at some point. Trust me.
That rail. They had the. Was that China or Japan? They had the railroad machine. Like literally like dropped like the cranes at the Port of Long Beach. It dropped down and like put a new bridge intact with an intact railroad track on it for like high speed rail. Yeah, it's the most incredible feat of engineering. I'll do that in my background.
Yeah, you're right though. They look at things like in the 1,000-year blocks.
It's really about like this is gonna be great for 26 generations from now.
Like
they will appreciate this.
They knew Rome was like a fad. It's like that shit will burn out, whatever.
Yeah,
long term.
Right, we control the spices.
Don't give me Greek will fizzle out. Don't worry about that. Philosophy can take you so far.
We got rice. Rice is good for a millennium.
Yeah, rice will last you forever. So they're doing great. So I don't know. Anyway, speaking of the background, this is looking great. This is for Tina Turner for the Dome. The NBA bubble starting. Oh, the scrimmages start next week, right? I guess. I don't know. But point is, NBA bubble life. That does look interesting. You were talking about that before. Well, the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part about the bubble that they were showing is I like that snitch line they got. Did you see that? It's a hotline you can call someone.
I saw something about it. I saw somebody talk about it.
It's basically just how everyone hates Dwight Howard. So they call up and they just call like, yeah, Dwight Howard's not wearing a mask. Dwight Howard doesn't believe in vaccines. He's
Oh, really? Oh, I heard he wasn't wearing, but I didn't know what his intent was. So he's the kind of
the
rogue guy.
He made some good points. He doesn't wear a mask around the bubble, and so he got snitched on. But he's like, listen, everyone gets tested in here. No one's got it. So what's the point,
Yeah.
I have to agree with him there. And then he just went on to say, hey, I don't like vaccines. And then he doubled down today. He goes, if you got an opinion on something, don't let nobody change your opinion on it.
Well, that's the thing. When you go and sit in your room, and you just sitting in your room, you're like, hey, this is what I'm going to say to these motherfuckers. Like, there's no other. It's just hotel room and basketball, and that's it. You're like, I'm tired. And you sitting stewing.
Yeah. They're at a resort. They're like in a Disney resort now, though. Like the reporters, they're just in a hotel room. They're like, here's our update from the bubble. It's like Chris Mannix. Like, yeah, you're in a Holiday Inn. I get it. It's not even that, but it's a good normal travel hotel. But they're like in a resort. I think Steven Adams said that because he's like from New Zealand. He's like, listen, we can golf every day. It's not that bad, Some of the food's in the box. Like people need to calm down with the.
Yeah, it's all relative. I guess you know what I mean. People just. It's
Yeah, I love those players complaining about a place that generations of families have spent their life savings to take their children to. It's like, it's fucking hell here. All right, I guess we'll cancel Becky's 13th birthday at Epcot Center next year.
Well, also when your brain is used to coming to Orlando for maybe 2 nights max. You like 2 nights. Orlando is 1 night, maybe we get in the night before, and then we're out after the game. And you're like, still in Orlando. This is weird, man.
Yeah.
Still in Orlando. We usually
bounce the fuck out of here.
That is kind of a nightmare, being stuck in Disney World for 3 months.
Yeah, that's bad.
The Small World playing the entire time.
Well, the good news is, I mean, nobody else is there, right? I mean, especially in the bubble. But are people on the resort like?
They got Disney World opened up on the outside. They got Florida's still bringing everyone in, like NBA, MLB, hockey. They're having a Republican convention, and they got the most cases. They don't care.
Gross. That would be tough to look at across the pond. Across the pond, it's just an entire army of fucking Disney World. The people that would go to Disney World in a pandemic across the lake. That's tough to look at.
Yeah, man. I mean, deals are deals, dog. Deals are deals, and if you want to get these motherfucking kids out the house, risks must be taken. So you kind of weigh it versus your state of mind, how you feel versus the risk of going to Disney, and you're like, the line's gonna be shorter.
Yeah.
Prices are cheaper. We might see some tall people.
They probably clean better than I clean at home.
Yeah, so you know what? Let's get going. Let's get these kids sleepy and doing something.
Get to Magic Mountain now.
Sleepy and doing something. That's the 8th dwarf doing something. Speaking of Florida.
He's always doing something.
What's that? What's that dwarf?
It's why he wasn't in the. It's why he wasn't in the story.
What's he doing? He's always doing something. That fucking dwarf. But speaking of Florida, Hannibal, fresh off a special Miami Nights. By the way.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
So good, dude.
Thanks, y'all.
Watched it 3 times. It's so dope.
The sound cues happen in the room too. All those sound cues happen in the room at the taping.
Most of them, I think one we put in the Kanye All Day.
Mm-hmm.
We dropped that in post, but the other the other sound stuff is mostly there. Yeah, most of it was live triggered by Tony Trim.
Yeah, it sounded like he did. It sounded like he did a good job, and it had to be so fun to watch for the audience there in the room.
It was it was fun to do, and I've been doing that material a lot. Actually, I shot it once in February last year and didn't like the finished product, which was a tough call to make after going through full post-production, and then just the feel wasn't right, so I had to scrap it.
Wow, good for you, dude.
Yeah,
that's tough.
It was tough. It's a tough message to deliver to everybody.
What's the dollar side behind that scrap?
It's like, hey, yeah, we this is dress rehearsal. We did it up.
Well, I mean, it for sure helped the final product. What was your main problem with that first run around?
I picked the wrong venue. I kind of got locked into a venue, not locked into it. I got mentally into this spot without really testing, doing a show there. I got into it being an off the beaten path kind of place. And then the vibe wasn't right. There was a couple other elements. And so the show, I didn't enjoy myself doing the show.
Can you name the first spot?
Just admit that it was Tony Trim's fault.
Blame the DJ. Blame the DJ.
I was blowing them cues now.
It was a lot of I can't blame I won't blame the venues because the venue didn't grab me by a magnet. I found that place and decided to do something there without even doing a test podcast there or something. So that's on me. But there was some other issues with that the production, and where I didn't want to capture that moment forever. You know what I mean? Where I knew how I felt on stage that day, and then even if we were able to kind of do some post-production, which we did, it still was, it wasn't what this one was, but it still was pretty solid. But I knew how I felt, and I said, I don't want, if I see it or know, I'm gonna be like, oh, that was a terrible day for me, and I just made it forever. So yeah, I scrapped it. And then in Miami, it made it better, but the shit happened in Miami, the final story. So it's like, let's go do it in Miami and talk about it there.
Oh, I see. So you didn't, it happened before that story. Oh, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, it hit, and I think that helped too, because all the local news stuff that you used in the final story, like, definitely rolled the room good.
Yeah,
certain folks, and even little references, the bar that I referenced, right, is a chain, Miller's Ale House. Mm-hmm. So when it mentioned Miller's Ale House, whenever I did the bit in Florida, people, you knew it had that sort of, that connection to folks. So those certain bits, just had that feel. But yeah, man, I'm hyped about it. It's one that I really worked on for a while and put a lot of energy into. So to get it out and have it do well, yeah, man.
And the stars align. Now's no more perfect time than to call a cop a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's really landing it in the sweet spot right now.
It's wild that it was. I felt like it was gonna, it's unfortunately a constant thing, but for it to fall in line like this is really
you evolved. I remember
crazy.
It was the Montreal cops from jaywalking. You shamed them. That was
jaywalking. Yeah.
And
now I was like, nope. Full name.
Yep.
Your old record. Here's your shit. Here's full name.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to know how it's going for him, actually, just to
call him up. Follow him on Instagram. You follow him on Instagram.
I bet that's one call he does not want to hear from.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you've heard.
He won't have to hear from me direct. He'll hear from some. There's gonna be some other.
Have Beaver give him a call first. Set it up.
Yeah, the Beegs.
Your fucking lawyer got a standing ovation, dude.
Yeah, and then Instagram. Was that like his daughter's Instagram or something with all the hearts blowing up?
Oh, that was post. That was the idea from the editor to kind of sauce it up a little bit.
That's how old I am. I can't possibly fathom that someone could put that in there as an effect.
But they made it look really good. Most people, Chris Merck and Bruder is the editor, so they've worked on a lot of different things together. So a lot of that stuff, they make shit just really, really pop. And Chris Merck is the type that he'll take a simple shoot and just make it. It could be just a simple shoot with, I'm saying, tour dates, and then Chris Merck's like, okay, we need orange lights in here, and we need. He's just getting and he's like, okay, we're going to animate the tour dates, just popping out of your mouth, and he just any like the simplest idea, he'll try to figure out a way to help you elevate it.
I love it. That's what you want. I mean, that's exactly what we want on those projects. But yeah, the whole thing hit. And then the commercial in the body cam was just fucking gorgeous. It started a trend.
Oh yeah, we have to pay a sponsor. Right?
Yeah, we got a sponsor. Real quick, you're in the Visitors Locker Room, ladies and gentlemen. First episode back in over a month. Thank you for listening. CJ Sullivan, Nate Craig, and Hannibal Buress, special guest and longtime friend of the VLR. Today's show is brought to you by the Body Cam Network. In today's justice system, one thing is true: content is everything. Arrest footage has never been more accessible to the public, and nothing is more valuable to advertisers with a quality product than a captive audience. Debut arrest footage with your product firmly in place at the Body Cam Network. Buy access to the public release of arrest footage complete with your logos, watermarks, and even product placement, and go viral. We believe in responsible police practices, but also well-funded law enforcement, and can do it all by making body cam footage retail and officer friendly. Advertise now on the Body Cam Network. Help your recently defunded police department earn extra money while sending your business viral today.
There it is.
That's an outstanding read, because I was I was watching. Hey,
You started a trend when you were plugging to the body cam.
Yeah, bud, you started it.
I was like, the read was so. I was like, is it?
That's the fourth wall we like to break down. You know, we don't.
No, that's real. That's real. Our sponsors find us, Hannibal, and you started an industry. You inspired it.
So
I'm happy to inspire. Since I'm in Chicago, it's like different clothes. It's like I haven't worn hats in months, and now since I'm back in, I'm like, oh yeah, I got hats, and so I'm real hyped about it. I got my white socks hat. Mom's
got the bedroom just like you left it. She's got your hats all up on a rack. She's got your shoes all up on a rack.
Yeah, I was looking through some old scraps, like scrapbook stuff. She got stuff from my college when I first started comedy, and it was just really wild looking at that stuff, like 02, 03, like back in college. Because it was Carbondale, Illinois, so you could just get pressed by just saying, hey, write about me.
Oh,
and hey, I'm doing comedy. And they were like, how long have you been doing comedy? 6 months? They were like, great, let's talk for an hour.
I have to say, well, that I have to say when you put that whatever, that Carbondale show on the top of your special.
Yeah.
Coming back looking like this. When you were, not that your set was great, but being hyped about, like, yeah, I just killed it. That was so fun.
Yeah, that hyped kid that didn't know what show business was yet. That hyped 19-year-old. Yeah.
Untouchable. Bulletproof walking off that stage.
19, man. 19 is like that. That's 19.
I can't remember the bit, but it's because you whether you improvised it or you wrote it. Like
he wrote it. He was rapid firing.
The bit was it was rapid fire and it kept going, man. I mean, those things when you're like tightrope walking, like in the early days of comedy and shit, and you feel like you invented electricity, dude.
Right. Yeah, because that was only, I think, I was 19, so that was in the fall. I started in the spring of that year, 2002, so that was probably November or something. So I've been doing comedy 6-7 months and just got some lather. That shit fell.
He killed. I mean, he killed it. The tape don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. But speaking of your White Sox hat, it is Major League Baseball opening day. And the biggest story is Dr. Fauci is throwing an opening pitch in D.C. First pitch, I mean.
Yeah.
No, you're kind of an expert on. Here's you throwing in Chicago right there.
Hey.
Yeah. Did you throw a strike? I don't know if I saw that ever.
Depends on the eyes.
He got it over the plate, but he likes to.
It was a strike on Frank Thomas.
I did not make a fool of myself.
There you go.
I didn't throw it all goofy. I made it over. I practiced for it.
There you go.
And I was just saying, you like to critique people who do make a fool of themselves and give techniques. God, I keep hitting the wrong button.
You didn't go 50 Cent.
I didn't go 50 Cent, but maybe 50 Cent meant to go 50 Cent.
That's true. He had it done that intentionally, right?
Oh, he threw it left-handed.
I mean, look at that technique.
Yes.
Although, maybe one arm. Which arm did he get shot by? It could have some rotator cuff problems with.
That's a good point.
He might not fully rehab that because when's he going to play baseball?
He
bad.
survived, but his only shot throwing out the first pitch got assassinated.
Right. All right. So Fauci today, I think is going to throw a good pitch. I read his article. He was like the captain of the basketball team. He's 5'7". Of course, it's like some Jewish league. He's probably a center.
What if he comes out there and just throws like low gas, dude?
Mm-hmm.
and half the country's like, okay, we'll wear masks. We like that. We like that. He can throw a ball good. I guess I'll give this guy a shot.
That's really, and that's really how people operate for real.
For real.
All right. He's not a fucking chump.
I don't know what PhD means, but I know what that is.
If he throws a fucking slider or something, shit, like some like nasty off speed too, you're like, oh well, yeah.
He just scientifically figures it out.
So is baseball completely no crowds also?
This interesting you should say that. They're doing a couple different things. And you also set a trend on this one, Hannibal. They're doing a couple different things. Some teams, like there's 11 teams, they're gonna do a cardboard cutout of people. And if you and you can pay to have your face on it. So you'll be in there. It's like $500 for a donation. And I'm thinking if you put enough money up, and you've already started this thing.
Oh yeah.
You can't get your face up there for cheap.
Yeah.
You can do a whole section behind home plate.
Hannibal, you could sit your face where Miami Man sits. Marlin Man. We like it.
Yeah.
He's in. We like it.
Oh, here she was.
There we go.
Oh, Janessa.
How's she doing?
I'm not sure, but
It wasn't a lifetime sponsorship.
Was not. She ended up. She had a weight thing, but then that event taught me to go bigger.
It progressed to the mat.
Yeah, because then it's like, okay, I have to never let this happen again.
The mat can't miss weight.
Yeah.
So the crowd they're gonna do cardboard cutouts in there. Fox is putting like virtual fans, like a video game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. That's like having a glowing hockey. They also have a glowing hockey puck as the baseball at that point. If you're gonna do that. But the other one they're doing is you can watch, like, so you're watching online, and it's kind of like an Insta Live or something. You have three options. You can click cheer, boo, or clap, and whatever comes up, they'll pipe that in. Although I don't know if they're actually gonna hit boo. I mean, how are you not gonna hit boo no matter what? It's just fun.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, it's an opportunity to. I mean, this is probably the most energy and creativity that's been put in baseball in a long time. With the most audience, the most variables from the crowd, where like, what is going to happen? I don't know. It might be an avatar. It might be a sim in the crowd. It might be.
And they're doing it with all kinds of rules, like fuck it, DH for everybody, start a runner on second in the extra innings, whatever. Anything to get people to watch. They're doing that.
That's a real rule?
10th inning, automatic runner on second base.
Let's do it.
Because God forbid there's a tie.
Hell no.
I do it sporadically all throughout the game. Put a guy on third, take out.
No, Hannibal, that's a real rule.
Yeah.
The second base runner.
Sure it is.
Let's get out of here. Because this is once the games that go past 13 innings, you should get a refund.
Oh, that's
like,
nice.
Sorry about this. You didn't.
It's almost torture.
You got to pay.
You didn't plan on spending hours at the 30th game of the season, and it's now you're like, do us?
You got to pay for ice cream, but you get your ticket money back.
And they cut off drinking in the 7th inning. That's where it gets torture. When you got to watch a full game without drinking. Although, and I should give a shout out to you. You haven't drank. How long have you stopped drinking? Like a year and a half?
2.5 years.
Wow.
I like to think that I like to say that I helped you on your path to sobriety.
How so?
Because
how so, Siege?
I'll explain. He just stopped drinking. I remember when you just stopped drinking. It was like in January, and that's when the Eagles won a Super Bowl. Hannibal. I was in Vegas, and Hannibal flew into Vegas at halftime of the Super Bowl, and he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, where are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at this suite, whatever. Come on by." He's like, "All right." So he comes by for the second half of the game. I'm up there with my buddy, but it's all Patriot fans and bookies, and me, and I'm fucking hammered. And I got I've been up all night, I have Adderall, whatever. Then the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So after the little, I got after the. Then I celebrated the Eagles Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years, and I think Hannibal's right at that cusp in the beginning. Like, man, I'm probably gonna miss drinking. You know how fun it is. And then he saw me, and how obnoxious and horrible it was. Yeah, you know what? I think it's gonna be a pretty easy path. Not looking like this guy. He was trying to shake me from the craps tables at the Venetian, which, you know how obnoxious you got to be after the Super Bowl. Venetian, like, nah, I want to go this way.
Y'all were wilding though, man. It was
the only saving grace of refused, like, because it was all Patriot from the bookies. They couldn't comprehend that they might lose the game, so Hannibal just taking a live bet with all of them and thinking, yeah, all right, 500,000, gotcha.
Yo, that was my birthday actually.
Was it really?
Yes.
Awesome.
So
what an awesome Super Bowl. What a land in Vegas at halftime. So you missed the first half.
Yeah, what a better.
No, I wasn't. I might have come up to the room later, but I didn't miss. I was watching the casino or something like that. Yeah. It was tense up. It was tense up there in that suite.
Yeah, I can imagine. CJ had that tension.
What a better birthday gift for me to give you your sobriety. I want to say I gave you your sobriety. Because anyone can quit for a month. I'm the one. I put 3 years of fear into you.
That's a 3-year sentence.
It was for me because it was you and I forget your homie's name.
Yeah, Chris.
But yeah, Chris. It was y'all were majorly destroyed, and it was me, and I was so, and I'm kind of like, how is this? I was like, we're not a crew like this. Not like this. Not like this. We are not a crew.
Why?
We are so far. It wasn't the you. You know, sometimes you hang out with some friends who've been drinking, and like, yeah, we're a crew. We're hanging out. I don't drink. They drink a little bit. It works.
Hannibal, tell me about the room. Was anybody in that room look like they wanted to hurt CJ?
It looked like.
Oh yeah, CJ was popping off. I said, yeah, you were trolling.
It didn't stop too.
Yeah, you were like, yeah, motherfucker, that, hell yeah, Eagles, motherfucker, yeah. And it was just quiet, and people just angry, and I forgot about that part.
We talk about there's Julian Edelman jerseys in the room, guys with like 50 grand on the game.
There's some old Welkers, and I'm pulling out different.
Yeah, motherfucker, hell yeah, Eagles, go green.
I love it.
And
I love it.
This is not even.
CJ, how much money did you have on that Super Bowl?
All I know is from that, I remember losing money, like literally physically losing it, not losing it in the game. Like I had money line overs. You couldn't miss. That was the best Super Bowl ever because nothing missed. If you had any prop, every prop went over. Like a running back throwing the ball, everyone, Nick Foles catching a touchdown. Everyone, like every single over hit.
Hannibal, did anybody in that suite pull you aside to ask what was up with your boy?
No way. Come on, Nate.
Nah, they just.
Yeah.
I've heard all I needed to hear.
I don't think, because I don't think I had the answers, so they, yeah.
Like you said, like it was like walking into like one of them fake skydiving rooms where the fan just blows straight up. Like that was the level that you walked into. Like
it was my weirdest birthday, like just being in a room full of white gamblers on Super Bowl, just like okay.
The whitest Pats fans.
Everyone's just giving it to everybody. And
that was the name of my improv group in college, the White Gamblers.
I think somebody was like, yeah. They were like, yeah, you got it, man. It's all, and then you just kept on.
Yeah, I didn't want to hear that congratulations shit. No, don't give me that. Yeah, way to go. We win one every year. No, fucking Tom Brady. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear about this all the way to the strip club.
Yeah, show me your unhappiness. Wow, that's good.
Anyway,
I wish I could have seen you in that CJ.
So the point of that story is, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Keeping you sober. There's Trump.
Beans.
I know. I gotta switch it up too. This is my favorite background I rock. Right there. Lock it in. Lock it in. So you just got back to Chicago, first time in 5 months.
Yeah.
That's great. What have what do I want to ask you?
I put that train track building machine in the chat.
Okay.
That shit is wild. That shit will let you know exactly how far ahead of us China is.
Okay. That's just for us, not for anyone watching. We like to do a lot of inside jokes.
That's how, that's what keeps everything going. That's what keeps it, special.
So is this true? Are you moving to Ghana? Did I hear that right?
I am planning to go to Ghana for probably 3 months or so. Yeah.
For 3 months or in 3 months?
Both.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to go planning to go in October.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Just getting a different zone since touring is not going to be what it is, or the stuff that would normally keep me here. I don't want to do movies or TV. Or I'm just going to try to do a lot of shit in September and record and make a lot of stuff and then get up out of here and just getting a different zone perspective and write some different shit. And
you spent time there?
I haven't. I've been to Nigeria and Kenya before.
So why Ghana?
Ghana, I took this test from African ancestry, and I'm Ghanaian, they say, on my father's side. So I think it'll just be, just go around and see people. Hey, look at you, got the same eyes. Do shit like that, and just also just produce. Just the stuff you make is kind of influenced by where you are. So to make a big change like that, of course, it's going to affect my output and the stuff I write, and even maybe that'll find. I've wanted to write a book, but just the focus that it takes, so I think that will really be something that'll make me write a book if I move. And
is this what happens when you stop drinking and gambling? You start doing creative things like this?
I think it is, yeah, partially where the energy goes somewhere else, where it's the same thing, whether it's, investing or making a move and just having a shift, because you just think of more stuff to do. And then, you gotta just, and you have to work to get more money to fuel your heroin habit. You know what I mean? It's just,
you people evolving as people, man. I don't like that. But anyway, evolving as a person.
Yeah, just trying to stay active out here, man.
I guess so. Speaking of which, I do want to plug.
And also, it's just my way of trying to take my time back too. You know what I mean? Whereas I had to sit around for 3 months or whatever. Well, now I'm going to have a drastic shift for these 3 months. And it's almost like running back. It's like bet back. Hey, let's do it. Double or nothing. Double or nothing time. I'm moving to Africa.
I like that.
That's great.
Speaking of which, I want to plug that for you. Tell us about Splitting Tens, if you can.
Splitting Tens is a podcast. I was always talking with my Uncle Kelvin.
Your Uncle Kelvin, who is a star. I've talked to him once before. He's an absolute star.
Kelvin's over there, actually.
Is he?
Yeah, he's over there. But yeah, Splitting Tens.
Have him download the other Tina Turner pick. We'll get the 4 in there.
Okay.
I'll get Kelvin in there.
And so he dealt at a few casinos in the Chicago area. Rivers and Harrah's, I believe. And so he always had these crazy stories. And it was just these great stories. And so then when I said, oh, we should do a gambling podcast just to also hear that perspective from, you know, the dealer side, where the dealers they're facilitating loss of millions at, you know, and just they're seeing a side of society, like looking directly in a motherfucker's eyes while they on tilt and, you know, doubling down on some shit like for 100 grand. Like seeing people do wild, but looking them and then doing it for an 8-hour shift or whatever. So
watching somebody lose a house.
Yeah, and then you know they're kind of the blame to that person, and so so I think those stories and just seeing it from there. It's not just gambling stories, and so it's so many questions that, you know, we've done 2 so far, but it's a lot of questions that come up from me because I haven't asked them before, but they come up in combo, like what about this, or when a person blamed you, or even what about gamblers? We talk about gamblers that have 86 themselves that said, hey, don't let me in the casino. I know they come in and play, or they'll play slots on the low key, and then end up hitting a jackpot and having to run out of the casino and shit. Just these crazy stories with folks. And I think there's just a lot there, and it's fascinating just to explore, you know, his experience, seeing people gamble, talk about my experiences gambling, and see where it goes.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited for Uncle Kel. He's
man. Thank you for the notes on it. Also,
I listened to that first episode. It doesn't need notes, but
that's
how invested I am into it, especially any gambling content. I'm for the cause. I want to push it forward.
I've been watching. I watched. You watched that? The Inside the Edge. The card counting one.
Card counting one. Yeah, you told me to watch it. I watched it. I was like you said. I was ready. I'm ready to.
Yeah, if it wasn't, that almost made me relapse.
Mm-hmm.
That one, because he was like, I feel like I can do that. I can do it. And then it was something else. What did I watch? Oh, there's a sports gambling one on Amazon. Amazon has a bunch of them. Well, there was one I watched.
Amazon goes into cracks a little bit. You know, you don't get the documentaries, but they'll find ones in the alleys there that are fucking good.
Yeah, there's a lot of, because then once you watch 1 or 2, they start pushing. So there was one where they covered a bookie, these other guys. They talk about touts and all. So they really get into the sports element.
We love touts.
We do love touts, and I always try to parody touts, but they're almost unparodyable. They're like Trump, like they're funny on their own. Like
we got information.
Stu Feinstein and all those guys are fucking hilarious.
They had this one there was some commercial that was of one from Vegas years back that was just screaming at the top of his lungs, these picks, I am 13-0 on my last 13.
He had one news like, I will hang myself if they lose. Like he was like guaranteeing like he was gonna hurt himself if all these picks would lose. It was all on a recording you had to call, and I would still do it. They get there like that Saturday morning radio slot. Like they're still alive, but barely. It's like from 6 to 7 on a Saturday. If you're ever driving around, like doing that Ray Liotta driving from like Goodfellas, look at the helicopters above you. You know, you think of them the touts there. And they were like, yeah, we have information. Nobody wants you to hear this.
They don't want you to hear this. They don't want you to hear this information.
So this is why you got that awful time slot?
CJ, what you would call for the recording? How much it cost to call in for one of those recordings?
My mom told me to call for recording one time because we just back when the shows were on like the infomercial shows Sunday mornings and stuff, and like 8 in the morning, you know, you just had the hotline like because it'd be a free call, you know, for the pick. And my mom's like, why not call it? You know, who cares? I'm like, you're gonna find out why not. They used to do. They would have set up 2 phone numbers. Like let's say, you know, Eagles and Patriots are playing. One line would give out the Eagles, the other line would give out the Patriots, and whoever won or covered, they would just disconnect the losing one. Because like 900 numbers were nothing back then.
Yeah.
And then they changed your name.
That shit's so wild, man. One thing we talked about was the difference of, you know, tapping on your phone to make a bet versus like taking cash up to the counter and really seeing it. And then you have to think about it and really like,
it means something when it's money. And actually, when I say that I stopped you from drinking for my show, you actually weighed that back, and I didn't stop gambling, but I don't gamble anymore with like accounts where it's like that, where it's fake money. It's just it's numbers. But if I don't hand over money, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because that shit gets
it gets out of hand.
Because that's when you can do the quick parlays. Because a parlay should truly take probably 15 minutes to make, unless you're right close to game time. Mm-hmm. But if it's they should parlays should have captions and shit like
instead of just clicking 8 boxes.
Parlay over 3, you should have to fucking do a Rubik's Cube also.
Capticas, whatever.
To make sure you really want to do that. You really want to do that? You want to put that under in there too? You want to throw under in?
Click on every photo with the parking meter in it.
There's no "are you sures" unless you're trying to withdraw deposits, bets, anything. You could blow on your phone. It'll take that bet. It'll take an 18 parlay.
Click on every photo with a bridge in it.
Did you see? Actually, Vegas just won a lawsuit. People were post betting hitting 10-team parlays back when you're hockey handling with a Korean baseball recently during the pandemic, because they would go up to the kiosk at 3 a.m. and the game would be like an hour into it and still be on there. So people were just hammering these 10-team parlays of the win and the under. They won, and then of course they didn't get paid. But now they didn't even void the bet. They just took it as a loss. Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was.
Wait. The bettors lost their money for trying that.
Bettors lost their money because they called them cheap, which is pretty rare for them to do that. Usually they'll just void it.
Wow, I don't know how they get away with that. You should have to honor the bet. If that ticket comes out, we've talked about this before. If that ticket comes, I know you don't agree with this, but how the fuck are you in the business of printing bet tickets and that ticket's not worth something all of a sudden?
I agree.
After you print it.
I agree morally that yes, if you make a mistake, you fucked up, but as a life gambling casinos, I know how they react, and that's not how they react. No, we mispaid you. You owe us money back. You don't get this. Phil Ivey just got he got crushed. What did he take, like $11 million in baccarat playing with him and that partner, and the judges say he has to pay all that back. And it wasn't cheating. It was like some dealer who would scratch the cards or move the card up too high that they recognized. And they didn't care. Like, oh well, give it back.
Yikes. Did the dealer get in trouble? I mean, well,
of course, the dealer got fired. But.
First of all, but they can't prove that the people making those bets were watching Korean baseball. I mean, obviously they were. But how the fuck can they just be like,
Well, it's timestamps. The bet's timestamped like 3 a.m. The game started 6.
Sure, but they can't prove that the people were watching that or knew what the score was.
What?
I'm just telling you how this would go in a court of law. That I know for sure.
No, you're saying, well, I'll go in the court of Nate. That ain't a court of law at all.
Legal law, CJ. No way can they prove that those bettors were watching Korean baseball. They just can't do it.
Court of law in Nevada, though, courts are paid for by taxes.
Yeah.
So all the shit is gonna skew for the casinos and shit.
That is court. Jury duty in Las Vegas. You show up to the cashier window.
And that's Hockey Hannibal. He was the mayor of gambling in Vegas during that run.
It was a crazy little
ringing the bell for the Knights, hitting 10-team hockey parlays.
Oh man, that was a crazy little run. Because I was gambling on the phone and cash at the tape. Yeah. It was too much, man.
That's
too
fun
much
footage. That's fun footage.
You were sending me like Floyd Mayweather type pics from behind the counter. Like, how they let you find a counter back there?
Yeah, it was, yeah, man. It was intense. It just was, it's, I see myself, and I'm like, that's crazy. What the hell, why were you, what was the point of all that? What were you trying to do?
What was the highlight of the run? What was the best bet you hit in that run?
The best, it was a series of hockey bets and other ones, and it was maybe some, I think the Blackhawks and Golden Knights were doing good at the same time. So hitting puck lines, parlayed with, some totals at 5,000. So like a 5,000, at plus 175. But hitting a combo of a bunch of them, and yeah, it was insanity, man. But then, and that's what doing gigs was good for, was having an hour or so, hour and a half, where I wasn't just refreshing the bets. So I could hit the stage, and then, and I remember actually, I forget what city, but I remember coming off a stage
Thinking
to looking at the scores, and then it was like when a bunch of them hit, like Blackhawks and a few of them had just hit, and it was like, shit, that's the way to end the show. God damn it, just hit on the stage. And it's been other times.
Or it's like, well, I'm here for another night.
Yeah, man, or just coming off stage and the shit is bad though too. You're like, damn, or something that looked good. When you went on stage, you get off stage, like, what happened here? What the hell? I'm surprised that I never full tilt, just live check my bet on stage.
Yeah, that was my next
like,
question.
Hey guys,
I gotta go.
Yeah, I had to go. Let's see. Let me tell you what the point spread is, or let me explain the point spread first.
Sweat it online. Put on the screen. Here, Trim.
Yeah.
Put this up real quick.
Put this up real quick.
Where is it? I had some. There we go. There's the board. You've been watching MMA's on the only sport. I know you're a big MMA guy. You're training MMA now, aren't you? It's hilarious.
I didn't. Well, I'm not still training, but I did train for about a month in 2018 in Thailand.
In Thailand. Well, if you're gonna train in Thailand, I guess.
It was that shit was fun, man. To get in a whole different zone, and the shit is pretty, for a frugal guy. It's weird being frugal and then also being like a compulsive. Actually, it's not. That's pretty on par with gambler mind state of being frugal, but also hella reckless with
Right.
Arkansas State football bets.
Cheap about smoothies, but ready to drop $5,000 on the Mac.
That's not money. Those are just points that you keep score with.
Yeah, it's just humans are complicated.
Did you get in good shape? You go to Thailand.
And now we got the title of the show.
Thailand, Nate, I didn't go as crazy as I would have liked to as far as staying focused and doing it, but it was dope to just be in that zone, go out there, work on shit, and and the shit is pretty cheap too. That shit
it's great. You can eat cheap, you can eat healthy. We went there on our honeymoon and we
stay there. Yeah. Where'd you go on your honeymoon?
We flew into Phuket and then we took a boat to an island, like way off, like a 5-hour boat ride to an island. And we just lamped out. It was so dope when we got to that island, we just didn't move. We were there for like a week and a half and didn't budge. Just drinking fresh blended coconuts and rum all day, every day. There was no Muay Thai in my no training in my honeymoon.
More of a Mai Tai?
Yeah, Mai Tais. No Muay Thais.
Yeah, smooth out there.
But that was everybody on the plane over. It was either MMA, somebody going to fight, or a straight up lonely pedophile. That was the whole. That was the flight over.
That used to be the best MMA Hannibal. MMA parlays are big too because their odds are always big. Their first like 500 favorites and shit. And then occasionally, once very rarely, Hannibal will be like, let me hit up Joe, see who he likes in this fight. He's talking about Joe Rogan, who's announcing the fight, and trains with all these dudes. I'm like, all right, that's a Rogan selection. That would always hit too, obviously.
Here's my question, because I've been watching these fights. You know, every Saturday they're doing that, a lot of a row of fights, and me and my buddy are just trying to, just eyeball these guys and be like, we'll put the odds on who we think is going to win, right? But they'll put the side by side up with the age and the reach and the weight and yada yada. They'll never put the records up next to in the side by side. Eventually they'll show the records, but does that have anything to do with people maybe just handling their own gambling, or is that just a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything to that.
You talking about
because when we're set, me and my buddy are betting on these fights, right? We don't know shit about these fighters. We see all the measurables. We see all their reach and their height and their weight and all that shit, like what we would want to see to like figure out who I think is going to win. But I also very much care about a record. And so they never put the record up there, and I'm always pissed about it. And that's my conspiracy. Is that they just want you to gamble somewhere so you got to go somewhere to see the record.
I don't think they try to show.
Yeah, I'm sure you can look that up pretty easily. Records are misleading in MMA anyway. One of the greatest fighters of all time could be like 25-12 or some shit. You know what I mean? Because they fight. The more they keep playing, the better they are. Because loss is a part of it. It's the way boxing used to be. Now everyone wants to be undefeated, but like, just records are just, I don't know. It's just one of your last 10 fights more than. Some of these people have like 90 fights under their belt. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's wild.
Were all these sanctioned, or were these like in fucking this street somewhere? Are we counting for wins? This was at a bar.
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah, when you like look beyond the record and you start seeing the other opponents.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this person is not a professional fighter. They're a moonlighter, and you really did beat them up.
This I'm about to watch the highlight of their career of them getting their face kicked in.
Yeah, he won the bouncer invitational of Southwest Florida. It's kind of weird. How do you like it without the crowd and you hear the cornerman? It's kind of fun.
Oh, I love it. I feel like it's better than with the crowd. First of all, there should be cameras on the cornermen the whole time. You should get to watch them. Not like I know what any of that means coming from a MMA coach, but it just sounds good.
I like it too because I've been to the couple Invictas I went to were very they were in small spots, and anyone in the building could coach if they wanted to project.
If they were inclined.
A lot of coaching going on in those outdoor.
Anybody, if they really wanted to, you could be heard at every moment, and nobody could stop you. And I did like that intimacy of. And then after the fights at the Invicta, the fighters would just be sitting in the stands like it was a bar comedy show. It was just like kind of hanging out with their friends and shit afterwards. Regularly.
Yeah, wait.
I can see why you'd want your name and face behind something like that.
Where was this animal? Is that in Thailand?
No, Invicta was they're based in Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
It's the one he was sponsored, the MMA he was sponsored, not UFC, but it's a working man's MMA.
Yeah, on the way back from that island, we stopped on another one, and they had a bar with a big old, with a ring in it, and any tourist could get up and challenge any other tourist.
Oh yeah.
For a bucket of big, big beers, and it was hilarious. People were throwing on this grimy ass boxing gloves and shorts and shit, picking other people out of the crowd. It was worth the price of admission.
It sounds like it. That sounds like one of those that's, look back on. That's a memory somebody has when they're staring out
Yes,
during quarantine, and then like I remember I was a fighter. I used to be a warrior. I was an international warrior.
Yeah,
thinking about that shit.
I was a professional fighter in Thailand for a couple weeks. Professional, huh? Yeah, beer. Yeah, beer. I got beer.
Sure.
But then a couple real fighters got up there, and like the speed and these two dudes were just fucking around. Like they were just there to, keep butts in the seats, keep people drinking and shit.
Yeah.
So they weren't trying. They were like buddies. They weren't like really trying to hurt each other. But like, I'll be goddamned if them not trying at all didn't look extra violent, dude. Like they look like killers, just killers. It's in just a little bit of training if these athletes can murder somebody.
Yeah, when you see I guess every few months somebody tries an actual fighter in the street, and you can see how that hype they are. They're like, what? They gonna, like they can't believe it because it's so. The skill difference, man. I would hate to get just straight up surprise punched by somebody just because you underestimate their size. You just oh no, not him. And you don't know what somebody knows.
Yeah.
Good night.
I would hate to get fully aware punched by one of them guys.
All that too. Yeah.
Also, yes. Wow, CJ, you look like you were ready for that.
Yeah.
Is this how they did it?
Yep. Nope, he wasn't ready.
But the surprise punch though, because if you thought y'all were friends and y'all were hanging, that'll be the word. Like if my mother turns heel on you, you're like, yo.
So you get knocked out by your buddy?
Me and Tyron Woodley was just chilling, and then he hit me with a spinning elbow.
Something snapped in.
I cracked my skull on the foosball table.
I was talking to him about this script I'm writing, and then I'm upside down. I guess he didn't like the idea.
A waiter dropped a plate. That snapped something into him. He was thinking about a fight in Brazil.
He went into PSD.
Next thing you know, I had a barefoot heel under my jaw.
What's that weird? It's a weird submission where there's is like a terrible massage almost. What is that? What is that submission?
What a great name for a finishing move, though. Terrible massage.
Terrible massage. Because I'm killing you.
I terrible massaged his rib cage for about 15 minutes.
I forget which one it is.
They come across the back of that?
Let me see.
Is it the Hoist Gracie, the ground and pound?
No, it's
Is that how mine looks? That's crazy.
It's the
Google terrible massage and see how far you got to before you got to get down to that.
That's not a bad idea.
I just looked up submission, MMA submission holds.
You probably have to go pretty down far to get the terrible massage.
Terrible massage.
It's
Here we go.
It's chokes, the guillotine. Is it the Kimura? It's the Kimura.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, the Kimura is like it's terrible massage.
That's I think that's what the Seattle hockey teams would be called, the Kimura.
This spa was a very negative experience. I receive weekly massages at home and am a veteran of massage therapy for 35 years. The massage table was cold. There was no changing rooms or relaxation space. The therapist, Caitlin, was abrupt, impersonal, and her technique was rough and painful.
Here's a how-to. Here's how to give a terrible massage.
I asked multiple times for her to be more gentle. But the terrible massage resulted in 4 broken ribs and unconsciousness.
There he is. He's needling. He's getting out. Oh, is that sandpaper? That is a terrible massage. That is just
Classic Caitlin.
outcast. How did you get that from Kimura, Hannibal?
What?
How did you pick up that Kimura was the terrible massage? Or you just knew from Kimura?
I just remember like it being like this weird. I think it's from playing because I had the UFC game too, and I think it's just from that like see it like it was like sort of looked like an Indian burn on the video game.
Are you a gamer? You were talking about getting a game or computers. Have you been doing during this pandemic?
Some of it that I had some heavy times where I was really going in 8-10 hours a day or so and leaning into NBA 2K just because I hadn't really done it like that before. I was like, okay, I can dive in now. Before I was kind of casual, but fuck it. What is time? So I got into it. It was nice to do it. I think now the funny thing now is since the new game comes out in September, this is the first time I've gotten the game for the past, 19, 20 years. But now I'm talking to my cousin and other friends that play. It's like, oh, yeah, we can plan out the season now, Like, 'cause I think when you're in your late 30s, I think you fucking damn near is responsible to plan out video game playing months ahead of time. It's like, hey, dog, we Thursdays at 7 p.m. Because we're all almost 40. We gotta plan it.
You gotta do that. Like you said, you can get deep into that. You can get deep into that too.
Yeah.
We were like, what is this for? What is all this for? You were in one of the NBA 2Ks, weren't you?
I played a barber in 2K16 or 17. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
so you must got the free game, then.
Got the free game. Yeah. Got it, and now they verify me on the game since when I started playing a lot this during pandemic. So it's really weird because they put a star over your head.
Right.
And people kind of
follow
you. Huh?
They love it.
People follow, but my name isn't because I don't want people just messaging me weird specific shit. So I have a different name on there.
Right.
So people just are following you because of that, which is weird in video game world.
So the star doesn't mean shit. They just know that it's somebody.
They just know that it's somebody doesn't mean anything to them. They just know that somebody verified, and they probably want to play you or play with you because a lot of them are YouTubers, so they want to have that for their content.
Huh. That's speaking of YouTubers. That's what's his name, Logan Paul. He's gonna fight. Is that the kid?
He fighting again?
I think so. Yeah, he's gonna fight.
He's fighting Nate Robinson.
He's fighting Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson's Nate Robinson's gonna give him the terrible massage.
He's fighting Nate Robinson as the undercard of the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight.
Oh no!
Yeah, buddy.
Yep. That's what's happening. What's happening.
I don't know. It'd be fun to watch Nate Robinson explode his body, right? That's what's gonna happen, right? He's got to be the favorite.
I kind of got to give it up to Logan Paul for acknowledging that he's going to be a heel. Everyone hates him and everyone wants to see him get knocked the fuck out. So, like, why not make this a career, and challenge, kind of smart on his part.
Nate, damn it. Even with all these players not going into the bubble, there's no Nate spot.
Jamal Crawford made it to the bubble. That's all I care about.
Yeah, we've been on this Jamal Crawford New York Nets.
He's 40 years old.
Kelvin actually pointed out a detail about Nate because when I played the celeb game, there was a point where Nate Robinson, he was on the other team.
Yeah.
And he was coming down court and I could have tried to but I saw he had a head full of steam and he was looking to cross somebody up. Here's Kelv right here. Kelv just.
oh yeah. He was right. He was right up at the free throw line. Nate Robinson came. He looked. And he was like, "Nah, I'll guard the guy who don't have the ball."
You heard how?
Yeah. That's a good decision, Hannibal. Take away the 3. In that situation, take away the 3.
He looked like he had terrible intentions for me. I was like, nah, I know what that look is. I watched the other.
What a year for you in that arena. You cheated during that one thing on commercial, remember? You were on the Last Dance 30 for 30. That was a nice surprise.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
You were the only story that wasn't even about the Bulls at all. It was just about some girl flashing you.
Some girls that were hyped. You know what's funny? One of my old friends, Dave, that I grew up with, he hit me up like, "Hey, I was on the block too. You remember? I remember those girls."
Right. He's mad he didn't mention him. Yeah, you didn't come up, Dave. Talking about Jordan and these girls. That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. It's Last Dance.
What I tell you, Uncle Kel's the star, coming in already with the highlight of the show.
Yep. Yep.
He comes in, drops that punch, and gets out.
Yeah.
Man, he's
Nate Robinson's hype man.
yeah.
What do you think Floyd Mayweather's doing right now? Is he upset about the attention that the Tyson Roy Wood Jr. Because that's what he usually does when it's about to be a big fight. He just like, oh no, is it after the fight or when the fight's announced? He tries to draw focus.
Yeah, he comes when it's announced, and he's up.
Yeah, so he's probably doing something now.
Yeah.
I've been talking to folks, doing podcasts. So because of that, it's been keeping me off of the socials, and I haven't gotten.
You like to mix it up.
Just in general, I'll get caught. It's easy for me with my ADD to get caught up looking at bullshit and just look like. I've been trying to figure it out more because I take Adderall.
Right. And
I've been taking it for a couple years now, but now kind of having the realization is like, oh, that's not it. That's not it. There needs to be. That's not the only step that you need to actually be solidly productive. It's something that you need. It's another piece to this puzzle, and it's not 20 milligrams of Adderall on its own. And so it's just realize like the brain just treats everything with the same level of importance. A fucking Instagram comment and a text from my grandmother have the same rating.
It's fucking nuts,
ADD
dude.
brain.
It's nuts, dude. I would love to get rid of my phone. I feel like an asshole saying I can't, but I can't.
I saw this thing. I saw this watch called the Revive watch. It's supposed to be like a focus watch, like a Fitbit for ADD, basically. Yeah, and so parents have the app, and then it kind of tracks their kids' focus.
Oh, it's one of those things. Someone else will keep an eye on you, but you can give it.
Yeah, but then you can do it for yourself, or maybe have somebody else.
I don't know, man. That just looks like something else for me to focus on.
Oh, I mean, I think it's worth a try for 120 because if you have a solid day of work,
only if I could use it like
worth 120.
I'm gonna need a shock collar. There's gonna have to be some element of electrocution or some sort of physical deterrence for me to. Because otherwise, it just turns into another app or another screen,
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna get distracted again.
Time for you gotta get that update. Shot collar update. 0.1.
I always thought you're the most intellectually curious person I know, Hannibal. That's what I would call that. You know?
Try to, that's the thing too, where somebody tell me something and I'm like, what the fuck is that? What did you say? Like what? I will stop. I'm not a yeah type of person. I'm a stop. What was that? Okay. Explain it to me like I'm a baby now. That's Whoa, what was that word? I don't know what that,
I got a power cord. Something's going on with my power cord.
Here,
Sorry.
watch this. Hannibal, I'm gonna show you this. Watch how incredible Chinese people are. This machine then just lays down big old pieces of
It's charging. Sorry, my shit wasn't charging.
watch this.
Oh, is this a train you're talking about?
Yeah.
Funny and Amazing Planet. What's it do? It lays down its own track?
It lays down track. See,
oh.
All right.
uh-huh. So the cement's right here. Like these pieces all ride on the bottom of this thing right here.
Damn.
I know.
Not
It's
quite
next
the
level
point
shit.
about being long-term thinkers, but it's something on its own.
Well, it's just, I mean, I've just never even conceived of something like that.
I know.
Long-term thinkers, that's, I mean, imagine the vision it had to even like pursue inventing this machine. That's fucking long-term. But
That's
That
not.
it.
I liked all them video suggestions you had. A lot of Edward Snowden, a lot of government. What was going on in that browser of yours, Nate? That YouTube browser. It's probably wormhole conspiracies.
yeah. I mean, I'm definitely down to watch a good Edward Snowden video. But I think that was just, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I watched one.
And I do want to applaud you, Nate, for sticking with the Tina Turner throughout the entire show, too. Me and Hannibal have been all over the place with the backgrounds. And
Well, I don't really have any good ones. I don't have any good ones.
I liked it. Tina in the Dome. Yeah, we should probably wrap it up with a full-on Tina lock, like Voltron. Let's come back together.
Reassemble,
Yeah.
run Bartertown real quick and get the fuck out and move to Ghana.
Move to Ghana. Nate, I mean, Hannibal, you're just fucking doing it. Going to Ghana.
Man, gotta, if when the world gets
We
extreme, you gotta say, hey, yeah, man, what was that? All right,
What'd you say? Double that down. Let's run it back.
Run it back in the fall.
Hey, time. I'm taking it away from you. How about that?
I'll tell you this. Remember when USA lost to Ghana in the World Cup, like the preliminaries, not like the elimination round, but it was like I suppose maybe 8 years ago, now or whenever, maybe 2 World Cups ago, and I watched it up here at the CJ up here at Killer Shrimp, the bar by the marina here.
Yeah.
And it was like it might as well have been a Ghanese. What is that the correct word? Soccer bar. It might as well have. It was 50 Ghana soccer fans going nuts. There was congas in the room. There was fucking.
Ghanese? What's the proper term, man? Well, you better know.
Yeah, Hannibal, you better know this.
Ghanaian.
There was about 50 Ghanaians in there. And they were talking shit like you watching the Eagles win the Super Bowl. They thought we cared about soccer. I really just wanted a good game. Honestly, it was. I mean, I didn't care if it was elimination.
There's nothing more dismissive to like other countries that love soccer and finding out
and not caring.
Soccer. We beat America. Like, yeah, what was that on TV? I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat you. Like,
that's exactly what it was.
It's not a thing. We're not really into shin guards out here.
They were in our faces, and it was great. It was great. It was a good game.
Well, they should be.
Ghanaian.
That's perfect. Perfect way to end it. I said let's wrap this up. Uncle Kel, Splitting Tens. Is that out yet, or is it just like you tinkering in the lab with it?
Just still working on it. And yeah,
It's gonna be
and
great.
just
I listen to
figuring
that
out how to
Great.
put it out.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll love to have you on in the next week or so.
Yeah, whatever. Of course, I'm ready to talk. I got gambling tips,
Yeah.
but whatever. That's all.
And Miami Nights is crushing it.
YouTube is that going to stay on YouTube for a while, Hannibal? How does that work?
I'm gonna kind of see. I mean, it's really.
Are you liking it so far? The YouTube thing. I'm sure everyone asks you why YouTube, but are you liking it so far?
Yeah, I'm liking just the
great.
flexibility and just being able to just send it in a link.
Yes.
Even though you could do that with Netflix, Amazon,
Still.
it's not really,
Right.
you don't do it like that. But YouTube videos, you can kind of just send it to folks. And so, it's kind of it can catch on more on its own. Like it's hit a good amount of folks, but then I still think it's still, friends of mine that have it that'll hit. It's been almost 3 weeks now, and still folks are like, "Oh, I'm just seeing." So
right.
Yeah. Well, also it lives forever, and from like an ownership viewpoint, it's the only way to go, especially for you. I mean, you are your own distribution plan. Like you got, people are gonna watch what you do, and so it's there forever, and you're gonna own it the whole time. It's kind of the only way to go, I feel. If I was in your shoes.
The only way.
I look at it as
It's got options, but
I know.
it could be like the first, potentially first couple months, and then go elsewhere after that. I like the excitement of kind of, just going. It really, you know what it was? It was just that the world was crumbling, and so I didn't want to do the normal shit I would have done with the world stable. Like if there's no pandemic, there's no chaos and shit shut down, and there's a chance to properly tour in the fall, then I'm on Netflix or Amazon.
Right.
No problem. Like I absolutely. But now I'm like, it's crazy. I'm crazy. Then fuck it. Let me just put it up here, see what goes, and if it works, it works. So.
Well, I can't wait to see if this isn't a better deal for you than Netflix and Amazon. I mean, shit.
We'll see. I was able to do the with that company Undock, and that was because of the YouTube situation where I was like, let me try to figure out something else.
Yeah.
Since I wouldn't be getting this up front, and I'm like, okay, I worked out getting a piece of this company, and that might.
That was an ad up front. Go ahead and plug them. What do? They do video stuff? Why don't we? Undock? Why aren't we doing Undock right now? What's going on? Why we got to do the Zoom shit?
Undock was still figuring out the backdrops and whatnot and all the other features, right? But it's mostly because we wouldn't be able to pull this off.
No, not even close.
All right.
But soon Undock.
All right.
But I'm excited. It's good talking with y'all, man. This is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And
congrats.
And
dude, congrats on everything. It's good to see you again, Hannibal. Have a great trip.
Good to see you too, Nate. Peace, CJ.
All right, Hannibal.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.
Boys.
Yep.
All right. There we go. Should stop recording. That was it. There's locker room. And bang.